Hello everyone, first of all, a very happy new year to everyone. Hope this new year brings you happiness, success and all the great opportunities. So today I'm here with the process video of the last artwork I made in 2023. I'm going to talk about the process and share some tips and tricks from time to time. So I hope you enjoy it. If you are my regular watcher, then you would probably know that I am enjoying painting without making the sketch recently. It saves a lot of time and energy, and honestly speaking, I enjoy painting more. It's a different story if I am doing a pencil sketch, but in case of painting, I would rather focus on it than making a sketch. Then again, you don't have to follow this if you are not comfortable. There is nothing wrong with making a sketch and then moving on to coloring, but if you want to have some fun or want to do some experiment, then yes, do try this method. Also, be prepared to use a lot of liquify pen to fix the mistakes. I won't lie to you, it can be bothersome sometimes, but you will get used to it. Only if you want that, of course. Now if I talk about the basic coloring, I used round brush angle, and I actually wanted to keep it that way because at first I wanted to make it a not so blended look. I wanted to have some rough brush strokes visible. You know, that artistic look that we can see in actual canvas. I really wanted to replicate that. But I ended up using chalk brush and charcoal brush to smooth things out. Some habits are so difficult to change, and me trying to smooth things out is one of them. All of these brushes that I have used were customized to some extent. But if you ask me what were those upgrades, I won't be able to answer because there were a lot of changes in between the process. The only thing I would be able to tell is the blending brush customization. Other than that, I have nothing. So the thing is, I don't really have a lot of customized brushes, as I like to change things as I progress. So there are no permanent change to a certain brush. But I do have some of the fixed customized brush, but those are for mainly special effects. For example, I have a rainbow brush that I use sometimes, or I have a color changing chalk brush. Both of those brushes I use for iridescent paintings because that is one of my favorite things to do. But other than that, it's very limited. So in case of painting, I change a lot of things depend on the art and my mood. I am a very indecisive person, and this is just the reflection of it. Many people think that it's a waste of time because you need to constantly change the brush and it kind of stops you from moving fast. So if you have a lot of customized brush ready, then you can just pick one and start painting. Yeah, they do have a point. But the thing is, not every time I am feeling a particular customization is the perfect one. So I need to make some little changes to suit the art style. If you find it easier for you to use lots of customized brushes, feel free to do so. Then, if you ask my personal opinion or advice, I would say it's better to keep less number of brushes that you use for painting. Using a lot of different brushes is confusing. It's better to master 2 or 3 brushes that you can use flawlessly. This does not mean that I am suggesting you to not break your comfort zone or try out different art style or brush. It's just you should have some of the brushes that you are super confident about. Coming back to the artwork again. About the brushes for this particular one, I told you before that I wanted some texture and brush strokes visible in the artwork. But later I wanted to make it less obvious. So the changes I made in the beginning were not applicable at the later stage. That is why I cannot give you a proper answer to what customizations I have made. But I can tell you one thing that I changed a lot was the shape of the brushes. If you want to know in depth about how to change the shape of brushes and everything, there's a whole playlist for it. I have explained everything in simple words for you to understand properly. In this case, the charcoal brush was the most customized one and the least customized was round brush angle. The round brush angle is a great brush. It gives you texture, it has the angle, so you can use it as like a flat brush or a fan brush as well. It has multiple utilities. It's a great brush for painting portrait, especially if you are looking for that little bit traditional touch here. You can always change the texture of the brush as well to make it look a certain kind of way. So next, I want to talk about the blending modes. There are a lot of blending modes to utilize and to experiment on, but I personally like to use the add blending mode the most because it's really important for adding highlights. It's the best blending mode if you want that extra glow and some of the stronger highlights with rough edges. You can also create normal highlights without the add layer. Just like in this one, when I started building things up, I added the colors in a way so that it looks like highlighted, even without using the blending mode add. And for the final touches, I used the add layer. Then my second favorite blending mode would be overlay or soft light, depending on how much saturated or contrasted look I want. I use overlay when I want an intense look, and I use soft light when I want the effect to look subtle but still pretty much visible. I would like to tell that both these overlay and add layers are for post-production work. So do not use them in the beginning. Try to build up the colors naturally at first and use these later to enhance or modify things. And the third important blending mode I think is multiply. If you see there's a lack of shadow and you don't want to mess things up on the base layer, you can simply take a new layer with multiply mode and add the shadow without any hassle. So I strongly recommend this layer, especially when you need that emergency shadow adding or you just want to make things a bit more darker. So these are the 3 blending modes I used for this artwork, and I use this in general as well. Now, if you want to really tweak some colors or make some drastic changes, then you can go for some unusual blending modes. For example, divide or subtract. You know, the experimental blending modes. I necessarily do not use those if I do not have the reason to. Those are really nice, but you need to know their game. So I would suggest you to use the 3 blending modes that I talked about before. It would be really unfair to not mention some other blending modes which are super useful. For example, color dodge, lighten, and hard light. These are also great options to fulfill your specific needs. We have talked enough about the layers. Let's talk about something else, such as the hair painting process. In this one, the hair is playing an important role. It was a really fun process. It might look intimidating as there are so many hair strands going on, but it's really just random strokes following a particular direction. Actually, it's possible to keep it simple with few strokes, which gives an illusion of hair. But I don't know, for some reason I felt like going all out, and this happened. It's been a while I actually painted lots of hair strands like this. I guess the realism lover inside me jumped out. What I did here, I usually would not recommend because it is tiring. I will be honest here. It is fun, but it is tiring and time consuming. Until and unless you find it fun and actually you want to do it, I would rather tell you to use the illusion method. But if you want to go all out just like me, then the round brush angle would work just fine. And you can also use the mixer brush to drag some colors from one place to another and draw the strands really well. I used charcoal brush for the parts which did not need a lot of detail. I have put more effort for drawing the flyaways and the strands of the highlighted region where usually a viewer first looks at. Always make sure to add more details in the focal point. The usual focal points are highlighted regions, the eyes, and lips and nose. I'm sure you can tell how I focused more on the area around the eyes. Also, the reference did not have these kind of big eyes, but I personally love them so much. So yeah, it just happened. Now that we're talking about the highlighted regions and focal point, I'm bringing back the highlight topic once again because it's another important part of this artwork. So if you want to have warm and bright glow, then you have to follow a simple rule while using the add layer. The trick here is to use not so bright but saturated and dark colors. Trust me on this. You do not want to use lighter color here. Then it's going to make things extremely bright. If you want to have that soft light radiating feeling, you need to use saturated orange or reddish orange color, which are on the darker side. But make sure that it's not making things extremely saturated, then it would look very weird. So there should be some kind of balance going on there. I'm sure you can understand what I'm saying. We are almost at the end of the process, and if I'm being honest, I really wanted to skip the jewelry after exhausting so much energy on the hair and face and every other important details. But I did not regret painting the jewelry. It turned out nice, and also I did not focus a lot on the details. It was just the illusion of light and dark colors. When I zoom out the picture, you won't be able to see that much detail of the jewelry, but you would still know it's a jewelry. And I think Wlop, the famous artist, uses this technique perfectly. Like the jewelry you can see on his arts are crazy. If you zoom in, you can see he's just playing with our eyes, and I love that. Maybe I should try to do another study on Wlop. I think I would enjoy it, and I am sure you guys would like it as well. Anyways, so now I'm just adding little details like the molds and some small changes to make things look better. I hope you enjoyed today's video and the discussion. Let me know if you would like to watch the process video with discussions about the art as well, or me talking about arts in general. I personally really enjoyed talking about my thoughts and everything behind the process, and also the general stuff that I talked about. I hope you enjoyed it as well. So that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care.